I don't know if that did it, or if that did anything, I should say. But hi, how are you? What have y'all been up to? Oh, not a heck of a lot happening with me. Work, sleep, video games. That's about it. Pretty boring. What's going on, Chris? How are you, sir? Anonymous Facebook user says hello. Hello. Who is that? Who is that anonymous Facebook user? Games? How do you play? Melissa Mopa. How are you? Hello. I have a laptop. I download games off of Steam. There's one game in particular that I play that I found called Project Zomboid. It's a game that I'd love to feature sometime on Twitch. Like, I want to figure out a way that I could get on Twitch, and I'm alive, so that's something. Oh, I'm glad you're alive. Very glad. Have you ever thought about any of those play to earn NFT games? No, no interest in that. I just hearing NFT. No. The goal on a lot of those games is not to have fun, and I couldn't possibly think of a game like that where I would have fun. That just seems like a get rich quick scheme. I always get, always a red flag with that type of stuff. Hey, if you play this game, you can make money. Hey, Loopy, how are you? How was Nashville? Nashville was fine. Ben and I drove out, had a good time. Got some barbecue, watched some wrestling. I was exhausted because I'm an old man. What is the name of your podcast? When Ben and I start our podcast, it will probably be Nomad Radio. It depends, because Ben and I have in mind maybe jam sessions, but that's just when Ben and I. That might be like just when Ben and I are going over what kind of stuff can we talk about, and we just throw stuff off the top of our head. But the more organized version of that it'll probably be Nomad Radio once we get everything going. But Ben's going to school right now. He's trying to get his degree. Cool. I really can't wait. I love listening to you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ben is studying right now, getting his looking into programming. I'm not. I'll leave it to Ben to, get more in depth about that. But as soon as he's out of school, as soon as he's available, lucrative degree, yeah. As soon as he's available, he wants to. He's done some work already in getting the his garage set up. Or should I say the office behind his garage set up for podcasts. I wish I could code. I don't have the. I understand what you're saying. I don't have the patience for it. I'm trying to look for myself. Like, I just want to take it easy. You know, if 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when I was a little more ambitious, maybe. But my ambition's kind of out the window these days. Hey Matt, it's your wrist nightmare. My wrist nightmare. Anybody messaging me on Facebook? I don't see names, unfortunately. Uh, it just says anonymous Facebook user. So my apologies if I don't recognize you. And I'm not sure who my wrist nightmare would be. You might mean worst. And I'd say my worst nightmare. Who would say that? Probably James Baber. But I'm not sure. Whoever it is, hello, and I love you. And thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's Ian. Ian, hello, sir. How are you, buddy? Is it nap time yet? Not for me. Not yet. Nope. I'll sleep in another probably 3 or 4 hours. Good to see you, buddy. Do I need my seatbelt on for this? All right. So I am in a vehicle. I am the vehicle is running. I'm in a parking lot. Um, so I just stopped for a minute. You don't need your seatbelt, but if I were parked somewhere safer than the middle of a parking lot with the van running, I would not have my seatbelt on. Hey, old lady, 12 p.m. Hit her. Oh, old lady, 12 o'clock. I got you. 12 p.m. um, I really wish that Haps would fix Facebook so I could see people's names. That could be 3 different people talking to me at the same time. How's your day going, Maddie? Oh, okay, Maddie. Is that Day Day? My day. Who is your favorite band? My favorite band. Probably the Kings of Awesome. Other than the Kings of Awesome, um, it depends on what genre. The Beatles are garbage. Not a fan of the Beatles. Was that Jeff? My favorite band depends on the genre. If we're talking like old school stuff, Hall and Oates. Daryl Hall is probably one of my favorite songwriters. If we're talking about rock and roll, heavy metal, I would say Queensryche, probably. Um, Black Label Society. Um, no, I Ben likes Grateful Dead. Some people like Rolling Stones. Some people like the Beatles. There are many different people that like many different things, and that's perfectly fine. I myself am not a fan of those bands. They're obviously successful, and they don't need me as a fan. Just my personal tastes are different than others. I like Hall and Oates. I like Duran Duran. I like Chicago. I like what else? Little River Band. I like gosh, who else? So many others that I enjoy. Kenny Loggins, Journey. Um, Chicago Snore. I'm sorry. Do I have any siblings? I have four of them, and they're all awesome. Daniel, Jeffrey, Michael, and William Jr. Junior. Uh, like I said, Hall and Oates, Bill Collins. Um, no, you are awesome. I am. This is true. I am Mr. Awesome. I like Phil Collins Disney songs. Um, yeah, cheesy 70s and 80s stuff. I got about probably 4 days worth of music. Um, I've collected a whole playlist on Spotify of pretty much every song from the 70s and 80s. But if we're talking cheesy like hair metal, I got $695 music on my phone right now. You know what? I tried to look up some music to download, and I can't find music to download because I want to download like the one of the CDs that I've bought far too many times, and I always seem to misplace it. And I want the music on my phone, but I keep getting a new phone, so I have a music app I use. It's totally free. I'm on Spotify, so I can look up some music, but I can't look up the Chris Gaines CD. The Garth Brooks did the Chris Gaines greatest hits. So he basically did, I can't remember how many tracks, but let's say 10, 11, 12 tracks that a lot of them are really good. It's just the whole um, Garth Brooks management or lawyers or somebody representing Garth Brooks. I don't know if, or maybe him himself, have done everything they could to try to remove that from the history. And regardless of what you may think of the whole idea of Chris Gaines and the whole controversy behind that, and it's lame, whatever, there's still some really good songs on that album. And if I'm not mistaken, it went double platinum. So it's not a failure. Just the whole idea of the Chris Gaines thing. No Sugar Tonight. New Mother Nature song by the Guess Who. There's a new Mother Nature taking over. No sugar tonight in my coffee. No sugar tonight in my tea. So that's got to be Jeff posting that. Um, Honestly, music died in 2015. I can neither confirm nor deny that statement, but I on for the most part, um, I believe that music died even before that. If you're talking the music industry, Possibly. No, I like my era of music. Creativity died in 91. My era of music is, I say, 75 to 95. Everything in there. I enjoy. Very few outside of that area that I enjoy. Um, if I were to be pressed to say anything, I'd say like Chris Stapleton is impressive. Um, do you like Elvis? Not really. Not really. I respect Elvis and what he's accomplished in his lifetime, certainly. But I can't say I'm big on Elvis. Like I said, Elvis, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Grateful Dead, the Who. There's a lot of bands that are huge bands, super successful. A lot of artists that are huge artists. Just not my cup of tea, man. Um, the Eagles is another band that I like. By the way, have you seen the Joker movie yet? I mean, yes, the one with Joaquin Phoenix. Yes, I'd seen it uh, in theaters when it came out ages ago. Ages ago. What did I think of the Joker movie? It was all right. I think I like the idea of creating a story based off of a character and telling your own story. So I thought it was a very interesting perspective. Um, it doesn't have to be canon with the comic books necessarily. Like you can tell a Batman story or a Superman story or a Green Lantern story or any type of character like that. And in fact, I think that's what DC should do is take their characters and create interesting um, takes on them. I think they should come up with a series of movies, a label, if you will, called DC Elseworlds. That's it. You create a film company, a production company, whatever you want to call it, called DC Elseworlds. Have that label and have people come up with whatever story they want to tell. Best Batman and worst Batman. Best Batman, I think, would be Kevin Conroy, the animated Batman. Worst Batman. Worst Batman. I'd say not like if they're all tens and one is a nine. I will tell you what the worst Batman is. Um, I don't think that Ben Affleck was a bad Batman, but I would call him the worst out of all of them that were all incredibly awesome. If you have to pick one, that's the bottom of the list. I would say Ben Affleck, but because originally I was going to say Adam West, because I'm not necessarily a fan of the Batman. I agree with you. I hate Ben. Okay, I don't hate Ben Affleck. Um, the two. like Ozzy beheaded the worst. So okay, so going over all the Batmen, I haven't seen Robert Pattinson, so I can't decide on him. Michael Keaton was fantastic. Kevin Conroy is probably my favorite of the animated Batman because I believe that the animated series is pretty much the best Batman product that's ever come out. Um, and there have been a couple more Batman uh, animated that have been all right, but I can't remember their names. Um, I mean, honestly, if I was to pick, George Clooney was pretty bad. I don't think George Clooney was a very bad Batman. Um, I think the movie was kind of silly, but I wouldn't say George Clooney was bad. I think the movie was bad. I think his performance as Batman was all right. Val Kilmer, same. It was all right. Um, the only reason why I would put Ben Affleck at the bottom of the list is that he wasn't given enough opportunity. Uh, Maybe George Clooney would be on a lower tier than Ben Affleck because Ben Affleck at least had a little bit more of an opportunity to play a badass. But if you think of Tim Burton, didn't leave the Batman series, you think they would have been good replacements. If it wasn't for Jerry Bruckheimer, or not Jerry Bruckheimer, excuse me. Um, uh, who was it? Who was the director? It wasn't Jerry Bruckheimer. It was I can't think of the director's name. I wasn't fond of campy Batman. You know, Robin Williams was actually supposed to play the Joker originally. I thought Robin Williams was supposed to play the Riddler originally. Um, so it's not Jerry Bruckheimer. What was the director's name for those two Batman? I can't recall. His name's just not popping into my head. I don't like campy Batman. I didn't like the TV series very much. Um, Adam West, for the time, I'm sure it was fantastic for everybody. 66 or whatever. I'm sure it was fantastic when you're a little kid and you're watching that. But and the more I think about it, like that's you're right because his audition for the Joker, but Tim Burton promised him for the Riddler. Um, yeah, I the more I think about it, yeah, George Clooney is probably the worst, but they're all really good Batmen. Um, Ben Affleck had the good physique, and he played him tough. There were a couple moments that kind of pulled me out um, of the idea of him as Batman. The way you watch this YouTuber called Minty. By the way, do you watch a YouTuber called Minty Comedy Arts? No, nope. Um, yeah. The Probably the best Batman though is Kevin Conroy for sure. He talks about movies behind them and stories behind it. Nice. Um, but I was saying something before too. I can't remember. I'm still stuck on worst and best Joker. Best Joker, Heath Ledger for sure. Worst Joker, I'm sorry, but I'd have to say the worst Joker would be Joaquin Phoenix, because at least uh, Cesar Romero, he played a really good Joker. The mustache was his only issue, not shaving his mustache. The moneymaker. That was kind of silly, but the Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor, and I admire him for playing the Joker. You know, like I like the idea of playing a character a different way. I thought that was really good. But as far as who is the best Joker, I don't think Jared Leto played a bad Joker. I don't think Jared Leto played a bad Joker. I think that was the movie's fault, because he played a psycho, and he played like he played someone. He portrayed a real psychotic Joker. Like, that was a very interesting role. I would much rather have somebody that scared me and creeped me out as a Joker than somebody that I felt sorry for. That should not be the Joker. But they made him into like a DJ. But they made him into like a DJ. What? Jack Nicholson's fantastic Joker. Probably number 3 on my list. Second place Joker of all time would be Mark Hamill for sure. Um, and the best Joker would be Heath Ledger for sure. Jack Nicholson was a great mobster. Sure. But yeah, I would much rather have, for the character of the Joker, I would much rather have a character that creeps me out and disturbs me than, oh, he's just misunderstood. Oh, the poor guy. Like, he did the great job as a Joker, as a mobster. Yeah. Yep. Great take. Great take on the Joker. I feel really bad for Jared Leto because they screwed him so much on that role. He played such a psychotic, like the legit, real sicko of a character. Like, the Joker is somebody that is supposed to be charismatic, and or like people lean towards that. So, like I said, a Heath Ledger sort of a thing where he grabs your attention. Unpredictable. Yeah, exactly. Jared Leto as the Joker, definitely unpredictable. Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, kinda plain. Like, you're just like, oh, he's the poor guy. You don't want to say, oh, the poor guy when it comes to Joker. You probably want somebody to come out to, like, the Joker would take a role, or would take the part of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker for a little bit, make you think that, and then suddenly, like Mark Hamill would, his type of a Joker would make you sympathetic for just 2 seconds and then troll you and then go back to being the regular Joker, if that makes sense. The better way to put it would be the Joker would make a movie, would make the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix as a joke. They're thinking about doing the guy who did the Green Goblin from Spider-Man and making him the new Joker. That would be Willem Dafoe. Yes. Well, I mean, Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin is the Joker. You're basically slapping the Joker coat of paint on the Green Goblin. Sort of a foregone conclusion. The fact that they didn't pull the trigger on Willem Dafoe as the Joker sooner is a little disturbing. Like, for what did you think of the guy playing Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory as the Riddler, or do you think Johnny Depp should? I think neither Jim Parsons nor Johnny Depp should be the Riddler. No, neither of them. Um, mm-mm. My problem is when you get actors that are big names, who do you think should play? That's what I was about to say. Like, when you look at something like Gotham, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but the the guy who played Penguin would have made a fantastic Riddler. The guy who played the Riddler made a really decent Riddler, but uh, like those two actors who hadn't really been heard of before played their roles very well. Um, I think you should get somebody that fits the role, not let's get a big name. Corey Michael Smith. Corey Michael Smith was which one? Was Corey Michael Smith the Riddler? I think those are fantastic actors, and that's the type of role you should do. You should find somebody who fits the role, not just a big name. Because that's what you do. You're like, oh, it's Johnny Depp, or hey, oh, it's Sheldon, and you don't want to do that. That was the guy playing Riddler. I think he did a fantastic job. The role should be the most important thing, not the actor in the role. That's my personal opinion. I understand what the production companies and I understand what their job is. When you're making movies, you want a big name to sell tickets. So it's not like I don't get it. I just don't agree with it. Robin was awful as the Penguin. I disagree. I think he's a fantastic actor. I just would have liked him as the Riddler as well. Frank Gorshin, yeah, exactly. Frank Gorshin, although back then Frank Gorshin was a big name. Frank Gorshin did a great job as the Riddler. And to be fair, Jim Carrey was a fantastic Riddler. That was good casting at the time. But um but no, I just Burgess Meredith was not a good Penguin. Danny DeVito was a good Penguin. I just did not find Robin's Penguin sympathetic. No, I don't think. Well, that's the thing is that I don't think a villain should be sympathetic. I don't think you should feel bad for a villain. Very rarely, for a decent villain, like I like good guys who are good guys and bad guys who are bad guys. So that wasn't necessarily the fault of the actor. I think that was a fault of the writing. What do you think of the guy playing the new Penguin in the new Batman movie? Uh, Colin Farrell is a really good actor, and I like the fact that you can't really see him in the role. Like it's not him, it's the Penguin kind of thing. And so far it looks good. Best Catwoman, for sure, Michelle Pfeiffer. She did a great job as Catwoman. They're also making the Riddler and Penguin had a mother son. Riddler and Penguin had a mother son relationship. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, best Catwoman, for sure. Worst Catwoman, I'm sorry to say, would be Anne Hathaway. She should have been amazing. Gotham they did that. Ah, wow. Yeah. Um, Anne Hathaway should not have been the worst Catwoman, but she kind of was. And it wasn't her fault because she's an amazing actress. And there are other roles that she's in. Like I can't remember the movie that she was in, but she played a real asshole in this one movie where she was like seductive and very self absorbed. But yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was like she played a villain in that movie, and it's like that's what you want. That should have been it. I miss you. I was thinking about you, Michael. What's going on, buddy? Uh, what do you think of Emma Watson doing Vicky Vale? Is she? That's the first I've heard of it. How's it going, Michael? How are you, sir? This is just what I think should happen. Uh, I'm not really big on the character Vicky Vale, other than uh, Kim Basinger playing her, or Kim Basinger, whatever, playing her in the Tim Burton movie. Like, really not a lot to go on right there. Uh, I don't care for the role. Yeah, not feeling it. When you think of Batman, I don't think of Vicky Vale other than the fact that hey, it's that girl from the other movie, not a character. I fell off the map. It's been a while since I've been on. Um, just been dealing with personal stuff, but the girl who played Harley Quinn was spectacular. Oh, uh, Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, for sure, did a fantastic job with that character. Love what she's doing. I like the idea of Gotham Babes, sort of a movie though, or series. Did you need a break from social media? No, not really. And yeah, exactly. The Prince song. Um, and honestly, she has a cute butt. I mean, that's not a false statement. I didn't take a break from social media so much as I just kind of dealing with personal issues, my day to day sort of thing. I get up and I didn't have anything to say. I guess that's basically what the best way I can put it. I just didn't really have anything to say. Didn't have a real desire to jump on here and talk to folks because there wasn't really much on my mind. I miss everybody, But it's great to see you once again. Well, thank you. Great to be back. There are some times where I wake up and I play games, get a coffee, hang out. Sometimes I got to work. Sometimes I like to sleep a lot. Just wasn't feeling very social. I still jump on Instagram and Facebook. Like I'm always out there. But like I said, I just didn't have enough on my mind to jump on. But this week, my energy's up. I'm feeling it. So I'll probably get on here and talk to some more folks. You are awakening. That is one of the shifts in consciousness. My shifts in consciousness ebb and flow. So rising tide, low tide, high tide, whatever you call it. If she was young, I'd say Angelina Jolie as Catwoman. We need to feed our minds. Yeah, my batteries need to recharge every once in a while. Like I said, I'll be turning 50 in 6 months, and my battery doesn't keep it charged like it used to. So it takes me a little bit. I wish that I followed movies enough that I could come up with some names for you. Pandemic certainly didn't help. It put things a lot in perspective for me. That's for sure. Even though the pandemic was a horrible thing and continues to be, it did certainly put things in perspective. So, you look 36 years old. Well, thank you. Yeah, fortunately, I don't know what 50 looks like, but I'm not it. Yeah, a lot of bad with the pandemic, but one good thing that came out of it is like it's interesting to see what life is not always going to be this one thing, and this is the way it's always going to be. Life can change, and I hopefully there are almost everybody has been shook to realize that okay, there's reprioritize, really take stock of everything in your life, and focus on what's super important. Honestly, it's almost over anyhow, as much as they're trying to make it not to be. 5150. Yeah, the pandemic helped me see. Well, I'd been experiencing that before the pandemic. Really, I was gonna say it helped me see what's super important, but I was already in that process anyway. After Pam passed away, and me getting rid of a lot of my stuff and getting into the van, social distancing. I was doing that before the pandemic. Figuring out what I want to do for work, not to be at a regular 9 to 5 office job, or working in retail regularly kind of thing, delivering pizza. I was doing that before the pandemic. I unfortunate circumstances, but I was already halfway there before everybody else started jumping into that. Isolation before it was cool. And the sun is down, so now I'm just going on streetlight power. So I'm going to get going. The sun is definitely gone. I'm leaning into the streetlight. So I will talk to you guys later on. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I'll get on tomorrow. Probably get up about 9 o'clock, 9:30 ish. Get out the door and go to Dunkin', get some coffee, and then I'll jump on with you guys. So if y'all ain't doing anything, about 11 o'clock ish, 10, 11 ish, I might see you tomorrow. thanks for hanging out with me. Enjoy your evening. I will talk to you